Hello my friends. So I'm just coming off a wrist injury and I've also gotten requests for this. So we're going to be doing a wrist mobilization. We'll be doing different things to strengthen and stretch out the wrist. If you tend to have wrist problems when you do yoga, it might be the way you're engaging in your hands, or maybe you have an injury. So if that is you, you could do this before you start your practice. It'll be about 10 minutes maybe not even that. We're going to start just seated. We'll be seated the whole time. So sit however you'd like. We're going to start with just closing and opening our hands. So really try to spread the fingers wide. This is going to strengthen here. Spread out wide and then squeeze in tight. We'll do that 10-15 times. Spreading out and in, really tucking the fingertips into the palm. If you have really weak wrists, you'll start to get sore just by doing this. So gauge what you need in your body. Spreading out and in. Now we're going to pinch. So bringing the fingertips together like we're talking puppet, but spread the fingers out and pinch in. All the fingers coming together, like so. You don't have to hold your arms out. They could be here. Pinching. Yeah, starts to get sore. Alright, now let's take our hands and interlace our fingers. And you're just going to roll out really slowly, keeping your forearms together. Try not to open the elbows out. And just going one direction. Then reversing. Feels kind of funny. Maybe a little popping and grinding if you have an injury like me. It's beautiful. Then push the arms forward. Keep the wrists in line with the shoulders. And just push out, stretching. Really spreading the palms out. You'll feel a stretch in the palms as well as you push. Good, and then separate the hands. We're going to take circles individually, one direction, and then the other. Big circle. Great, and then let's twist. So imagine you're holding a spoon or a ladle or whatever you want to be holding, candlestick, microphone, and you're going to twist back and forth, in and out. Awesome. Now we'll do some wrist flexion. So taking our right hand forward, we're going to fold it down, pulling on our fingertips. You'll feel a stretch the top of your wrist through the forearm. Just breathing. You can do about 10 seconds each stretch. And then on this side coming up, extending. I've injured my right wrist, so this one is a little bit hard for me, so I'm going to go gentle. If you can really bend it back, but maybe you're not there today. That's okay. Taking it on this side. Then to the left hand, so like you're saying stop, and then pull the fingers back. And folding it down. Cool beans. Shake it out. Just let it go. Roll. And then we're going to come on to tabletop. So bringing our wrists just below our shoulders as always. To start, we're going to do these little circles. When we're doing this, I want you to push into the base of your knuckles and your fingertips and this L space between the finger and the thumb, the pointer finger and the thumb. So putting the weight on the hands, we're going to take circles in one direction. Again, everyone is different, so maybe you're coming really far forward and stretching out. Maybe it's really gentle circles. Just go one direction to start, and then reverse your direction. Awesome. And then we're going to do what we did standing up or sitting up, but we're going to add our body weight to it. So for our flexion, we're going to bring the backs of our hands down to the mat. And everyone has different wrists, different mobility, so maybe this is enough for you here. Maybe you can start to lower the hips back. Again, our wrist is in line with the shoulder to start, and we're not out or too far in. And then you can start to sink back. Good. You can come up. We're flipping over, so placing our fingertips toward us. And same thing, you can start to sink the hips back. Maybe you're all the way up and this is enough for you. And then adding a little bit to our flexion, we're going to bring our fingers toward the center line, facing in, and then you're going to try to close your thumb into your palm of your hand and then close your hands over it. Close your fingers. Keeping the weight on the back of the hand, you can open and close, open and close, open. Maybe you hold it here. If you sit at a desk all day on the computer, or maybe sitting on your phone all day in quarantine, this might be really hard for you to get your hands closed. Maybe yours looks like this. That's okay, just work on it. Eventually you'll be able to close really, really tightly. Now I'm going to tell you a few things to modify in yoga. So as I was saying, we try to push into this space. If we're putting the weight in our wrist, that's when our wrists get really weak and fatigued. So to modify, you can always come into fist like a gorilla. Instead of having our hands flat, you can come up on the fist. I've been doing this for 3 weeks because of my wrist. So you can be here. You can always come down to the forearms as well. If we're doing our forearms, it's always going to be your alignment where you would grab your elbows and then bring the arms out. A lot of times we like to splay our elbows out to the side, so trying to keep them in line. Here, you can modify like that. Okay? Another thing to do is if you want to practice pushing in that L space, you can bring a block or a book if you have one, and really try to engage pushing into the block and also into the earth. So maybe for a week, every time you do a down dog, you use a block. And as you start to activate and push into the L shape, you'll notice the weight coming out of the wrist. So maybe your plank looks like this, and as you push in, we're just giving that muscle memory so later on you remember to do that. Maybe you look like this, pushing into the block and down into the earth. Awesome. One last little thing. If you want to add a little more and you have strong wrists already, but you want to make them even stronger, and you have little weights, you can almost do everything we did in the beginning, but with weights instead. So maybe you're here and you can do a little wrist curl up. Maybe you flip it and do the opposite. You can take circles. You can do the twist. Whatever you need. I wouldn't suggest bigger than 2 or 3 pounds. At that point, you're just stressing your body. And yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments. Feel free to share with your friends that might need this. And I've got ankle mobility coming up next. See ya!